Ooh. What's going on, guys? It is Cooper88, also known as Steve. And I figured I would do a second Diablo chill stream. I know you guys probably can hear it in my voice, but I need a distraction because I pretty much made a lot of really bad errors in judgment last night. I won't get into it, but I ended up insulting both my mother and my neighbor in the process. And now I kind of needed a distraction, so I figured I would play Diablo, but I also figured, you know, it would help if I also kind of involve you guys, because I feel like I need to process this stuff. And I also figured, you know, it would be good for transparency a little bit too, to make you guys understand that there is a lot of stuff that goes on outside of this. You know, outside of this channel and stuff. It's nothing dramatic, but it's just, you know, I had a lot of bottlenecked emotions that I shouldn't had expressed to my mother, especially since, and I don't mean to put her business out there, but my mother has a lot of weight loss issues. My mother struggles with weight loss. And last night I finally had enough, and I just went off on her and told her that all she does is make excuses. And she just sent me a text saying, you know what, you know, you weren't wrong, you know, you were right, so I need to apologize. But I did. I told her, I said, well, you know, she goes, don't feel bad for saying how you feel. And she said, I appreciate the fact that you owned up to the fact that you hurt me. She said, but you also shouldn't feel obligated to apologize. She goes, only thing you need to do in the future is remember to just be careful with how you word things. She goes, it's not what you say that hurts me or other people. She goes, it's the way you word it. She goes, you are extremely venomous in the way you say things to people sometimes. And she goes, I don't think you're aware of it. And I cried over it. I mean, I cried about it last night because I knew that that was not who I am, and it's not who I choose to be. But I have so much anger and animosity because of the things that have happened to me in my life that I've let that, whether I like it or not, control my actions in the way that I think. You know, it's the classic do as I say, not as I do mentality. And that's not who I want to be, not just on this channel. I don't want to be like, you know, fake in the fact that
I need to go back.
You know, I don't hold myself to a higher standard, but I also I don't want you guys to feel like, you know, there's a shades of gray kind of area with me. I don't want you guys to feel like I do all this stuff just, you know, for the vine, for, you know, the lulls. I do this because it's fun, and I do it because I want to share my joy with you guys, but I also know the internet doesn't forget. I know years from now people will probably bring this YouTube video or stream up and say, you know, hey, remember when you said this thing? It's like, so whenever I say things, I also take into consideration that, you know, this stuff may come back to bite me, or somebody may use this as fuel to kind of throw stuff back in my face, but I also, for the most part, don't care, because, let's face it, in my mind, everybody's going to turn against me eventually. Whether it be family, friends, fans. You know, that's not me being snarky, that's just me being truthful. You know, a lot of people in my life, because of me, because of my pride, and because of the things that I've said, they always turn against me. So I always have a chip on my shoulder, because I feel like I'm very misunderstood, unintentionally or not on purpose. And that, I'm not saying it's a completely toxic mindset, but I'm saying sometimes I get in my own way and I don't mean to. I'm just very angry, because I feel like at 30, I still have to deal with the same kind of crap that I had to deal with when I was younger and in my teens, you know, as far as people and social interaction and what's right and what's wrong, and feeling like the general excuse in a very paranoid fashion, you know, everybody making the excuse, well, Steve's autistic, he doesn't always filter or understand the things that he says. And, you know, that genuinely makes me mad, because I don't want my autism to be a social crux. I never wanted, I've always been a firm disbeliever of that it doesn't matter what disability you have. Even if you could have Tourette's, you could be autistic, you could have all these things, but your disability should not be the social crux of what your character and your personality is. That's not how you should conduct yourself in life. You shouldn't find excuses or cop-outs. But not everybody thinks the way that I do, and that's always been kind of a big social problem for me, is I only look at things from my filter and lens. I never look at it from other people's. And that comes back to bite me. I'm a big believer in karma, guys, and I believe that karma has come back to me royally. You know, I've apologized to my mother, and I feel a lot better about that, but I can't say the same for my neighbor, and I already had brazenly went to knock on her door, and I'm not sure I want to try to do that again, because I'm sure she's pretty cross with me.
Rest until she reveals it on the
and
morrow.
I just, being in the state that I'm in, it's probably better that I just leave her alone. Because, you know, some people just, they don't want to talk to you in the moment. I take it in that context. So, I'll do this stream, and I mean, maybe later on I might. But, for right now, I kind of get the feeling that it's probably just better that I leave things as they are. Because now I kind of have the paranoid delusion in my head that I'm going to just screw things up even more than I already have. Now this is just how I think, guys. This is just how I think. This is how I kind of view the world. Somebody pointed out to me that I say things, people are like, you know, it's good, Steve, that you know, have fun and all that stuff. They're like, but sometimes when you have too much fun, what is it that they said? They said, when you start having too much fun, Steve, that's when it starts to become a problem. They said because then you don't think about how it's going to sound to other people. I don't know.
I can't carry any more.
In truth, guys, I'm probably being a bit too critical of myself. I'm probably being far too critical of myself. It's probably not that bad. But it's just how I am. But anyway, now that I've got all that off my chest, let's get back to the game and let's focus on actual fun stuff. Okay, so how much... Let me offload to Heydrig here. And the grind is still continuing from the last, like, Diablo 3 chill stream that I had done yesterday, that 3-hour stream where I was explaining to Lewis, who is one of my frequent watchers, he didn't know very much about the lore of Diablo, so I was kind of explaining every class and, like, backstory stuff. So it was kind of fun for me for a change, because I rarely get to kind of, you know, geek out on these streams and like talk about like interesting game lore or things that I find fascinating. Okay, we are at 393. Oh, we are so close but so far from getting Skeleton Crew. I will be so glad when I'm done with this trophy, because it's just literally annoying me. Like, I've been at this trophy for so long, trying to just kill all these elite enemies with nothing but my command skeleton.
I must wait.
You will make a fine corpse.
I mean, at least it wasn't like when I was down to like 456 or 156 or something like that. At least I'm building up my repertoire. But it's still kind of bothering me, because I'm like, it feels like there's no end to stopping. Like, I'm ready to be done with this trophy, and I'm ready to just have it added, and once it's added, I'll actually get like some really cool, like, you know, effects and wings and stuff and such in the trophy. But I am beyond done with this trophy. I'll be glad to But, I mean, on the plus side, I look at it in multiple positives. At least I'm raising my Paragon level, which is always good. It means that there's more slots for power leveling certain characters, like getting them up, or at least keeping them alive, which especially will help with you know, Gore, my male barbarian, because he really needs some stat boosts. And yeah, I mean, I'm raising my Paragon level. I'm almost done with Skeleton Crew, which, oh, when that happens, I'm gonna be so happy, because then I'll be able to re-add the Golem. In place of Devouring Aura, I can replace the Golem in that slot, and then I can walk around as both Necromancers and be able to take out my enemies. Not to mention, it'll give me the chance to work on other characters. I know I got Constantine, my monk, who's probably going to be the next one that I try to fully level up. And then there's Eva, which is my female wizard. So I may do either one of those characters. And of course, work on Gore, my male barbarian, get him up. So to me, it's like, I'll get the barbarian, like, eventually. But right now my focus is on the monk and the wizard probably next. That way I've got like all the different classes that I like done, as opposed to the ones that I don't. No, I like every class individually. I don't want people to feel like I hate every single class in Diablo, because I don't. Every class is unique and every class is cool in their own right. I just personally don't have as much of a fondness for certain classes. Like for me, it's the Witch Doctor. It's the Witch Doctor. Ugh. Sorry. I had to unplug my controller because I'm going to be walking to my apartment because I need to get my ibuprofen. Is usually the Wizard, the Witch Doctor, and the Necromancer. And then scaling after that, it's the Monk, the Demon Hunter. Actually, to me, it's the Monk, the Crusader, the Demon Hunter, and then the Barbarian. Like, that's kind of my scaling system from top to bottom, you know, classes that I like. So, probably not a good idea to take ibuprofen with coffee, but oh well. We'll see what happens. I'm just trying to get perked up. Oop. Would help if I plugged my controller back in. Yeah. It's kind of the first time that I've had to unplug my controller, like pause the stream, unplug my controller, go into my kitchen, and still talk to you guys at the same time. The wonders of electronically charged controllers.
Royal Guard,
because trying to do this kind of stuff back in the day
our king
would not
no
work.
Longer able to separate reason from madness. He orders the caverns to be filled with the Archbishop's monstrous creations.
Hang on a second.
And
hang on a second, let me turn off my mic. I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to hear me hack up a lung trying to clear my throat. Oh, there we go.
Hear
Much
nothing
better.
else. Perhaps the legendary ancients
I hate
themselves
when
once
that
dwelled
happens.
there. But now, we must desecrate their ruins.
Ugh, excuse me. Okay. Okay, so nothing back that way. So I'm presuming this way. Please let... Oh, thank God, a couple of them are stacked together. Like, I don't like these destroy this or free this person quests because oftentimes they spread them out so far in the map that you could wander around the entire map before you finally find, like, the one that you're missing. Especially if it's the last one. Let's go ahead and free this guy. Done. Another one down. I look at it this way. Like I said, I mean, I'm building Paragon level. I'm working towards the last Necromancer trophy. And if anything, I'm kind of working on my 500 bounty trophy as well. So it's like I'm kind of killing 3 birds with 1 stone a little bit. As far as getting all this kind of worked out and grinding. The grinding is what kills me about this. It's not anything else, but it's going to be a little bit more bearable just because I'm playing as the Necromancer, like not just some of these battles out, because, like I said, one of my favorite classes, so I don't gotta worry. Okay, let me get out of the way of the laser. If there's one ability that I hate that most, like, elite enemies have, is that arcane laser ability. Because it's so annoying, like, if you have, like, multiple enemies that have that, it's just annoying because you're essentially in a death trap, and especially if you're in, like, a narrow hallway, like the aqueducts in Chaldeum, you really will die quickly. It's just kind of annoying, but also luckily for me though, like I have no pressure in necessarily leveling my character. The most I'm leveling is like Paragon, and I can guarantee you between all the characters, even if I went on a higher difficulty, it's still going to be a grind to get it to a certain level. So I'm not worried about. I'm not saying Paragon's bad. I like Paragon, but I'm not saying it's essential to my playthrough. And somebody asked me, they said, well, what happens when you platinum this game? Still gonna keep playing it. And somebody's like, really? They're like, you're not gonna get rid of the game? I'm like, no. Why would I get rid of a game that I actually enjoy playing? This game is a stress reliever for me. And I do sincerely mean that. Like, Diablo 3, surprisingly, is a good stress reliever for me. Because if I'm having a bad day, nothing relieves stress like just going in as my Witch Doctor or Necromancer and just naming mobs of enemies. And most people are going to look at that and be like, oh, you know, so you satisfy your inner sadist. To be honest, I think everybody, especially when they're mad, they'll play something like God of War or this. And they just imagine all the people that have made them mad throughout the day, or have made them extremely PO'd. Like if anything, it's a reverse anger psychology. Because you're well aware that this is a video game, these characters aren't real. So, like, that's the way I look at it. I know these characters aren't real. They're demonic creatures. Like they're demonic, they're demonic video game creatures. And of course, I'm playing a heroic character who is trying to take them out to save civilians. But in my head, it's just, okay, so if you're going to be the focal point that I kind of take my aggressive out on. And most people are like, oh, well, you know, playing, you know. I'm one of those people that I get tired of the argument, well, video games make people violent. No, most people that have anger issues, they've actually shown statistics that people that have anger issues relieve a lot more anger and stress actually playing video games like this than, you know, or God of War than actually causing harm. And most of the people that go on these binges and rampages that play violent video games are either kids that aren't quite young or mature enough to understand that they are video games and they kind of disassociate from reality and become antisocial, or they are people that are maybe possibly a little bit more mentally unstable that probably need to seek psychiatric help. And everybody's like, oh, well, that's just so harsh to say. Well, as somebody who not only, well, I said a while ago, I don't use my autism as a social crutch, but I say it more in the context of this discussion. Being somebody who's autistic, who deals with depression, who deals with anger management, or just a lot of animosity to type anger.
I could bring that down.
I was at a very young age disassociated from reality because I did play video games. Not even violent video games, just video games in general. And as I got older, I started to realize, hey, this is just a video game. This is just something that's meant to be fun, to relieve stress, and to make me feel like, I should be relieving stress, not what you call it. I don't know. I don't know the word for it, but hopefully you guys understand what I mean. Like it's one of those, like it's very hard to describe, and I don't want it to come across as belligerent. And especially right now, I'm making it sound very belligerent, and I don't mean it to be. I'm trying to actually be factual. But all I'm saying, guys, is I get tired of the argument like a lot of people do that, oh, video games cause kids to be violent. But most of the people that are saying that are parents that, they have a guilty conscience because they realize, they should have been more involved in the kids' life. And like it or not, I'm kind of glad that my mother was not one of those parents that who thought video games babysitted me. She actually took the time to get involved in my life and, try to play with me, but also try to help me understand that, the world, you can't shut the world out forever. And I told her, I feel to the point now, especially as I'm getting older, it's harder to try to be more social because I feel people misunderstand me more as an adult than if I was a kid. And I feel like I just might as well be a shut-in because nobody's ever going to really take me seriously, listen to me, and I feel like everybody's just going to turn against me and betray me anyway, so the only person that really hurts is myself. And that's the statement that kind of made me cry more than anything last night, because I finally had to admit a deep, hurtful truth that I had kind of, denied myself. Is the fact that I am so worried about everybody turning against me that the weight of that paranoia finally just crushed me last night. But at the same time, guys, I don't regret it, and I'll tell you why. Because sometimes we as human beings we deny so many facts about ourselves. We deny so many different facts that we tell ourselves, this isn't true, and then finally when we finally get out of denial and we finally tell ourselves, hey, I finally have to do. You basically get to a point where you bottleneck that, and you keep saying, it's them, it's not me. And then finally, you finally just break. You finally just say, you know what, it is me. And that
honor together.
And that's the moment, and I think that to me is the moment when you, as a human being, finally just say, you know what, enough is enough. I've sat here and I've been in denial about this, and I need help.
Let us...
And that's a powerful thing, guys, when you can finally sit back and say to yourself, you know what, I'm not holding myself accountable, and I'm just...
Seek our fortunes together.
I'm finding every which way to make an excuse to not want to change. And I'd be a hypocrite if I said that, you know, I'd be a hypocrite, guys, if I said that I wasn't trying to change myself for the better. But some days I don't, and some days I fail. And some days I'm very harsh on myself because I have such a desire to want to be perfect. And when I say perfect, I mean perfect as in I want to say the right things in the right moment. I want to be the leader that people want. Like, it's not so much a sense of validation for others, but a validation for myself to feel like I am contributing rather than just kind of standing on the sidelines feeling like I'm useless. Basically in plain English, I worry about a lot of self-confidence issues. And that doesn't always shine through these videos and these streams, and I never want it to, because I don't want to burden you guys with the fact of I have low self-esteem issues. But I think after last night, especially, you know, the things that I said to my mother and just letting all those bottlenecked emotions that I've held in for months now that I thought would dissipate from New Orleans and then came back stronger, I finally have to sit back and evaluate to myself, you know, it's like, am I overthinking things too much? Am I becoming too paranoid? Has my paranoia and always expecting the worst in people finally reached like an apex where now I'm purposely pushing people away because I think everybody's going to turn against me eventually, even my own family? I mean, it gets crazy. It's getting crazy now, because now I'm kind of looking at it like, you know, so I'm now believing that everybody's going to betray me eventually, and that nobody is good. Nobody is pure or saintly around me. That's no way to live. And I say that not just for myself, but I say that for you guys as well. It's no way to live. A lot of thoughts, a lot of complex and very deep thoughts. Sorry, I'm focusing on, you know, Cormac here, but I'm looking at the detail in this spear here. Like, the spear is just fascinating to me because, like, it's like a spiraled blade, like a spiral javelin. And, you know, it's pointy at the end, and also it's just the fact that it's like, okay, you know, he's kind of holding that like a jousting rod. It's just, I don't know, it's just weird to me. It's just like, you know, the crossbow here for Lyndon.
Run when they see us.
But I'm not going to say that I'm not going to be alright, guys, because I am. It's just, I go through these motions and go through these modes where I kind of start to question myself a lot. And I always am glad, I'm always glad that you guys are here. I never want you guys to not feel like you are not involved or you don't contribute to my overall, like, goal. Not just for this channel, but for the community that I want to try to build. I want to build a community that feels like it's a safe haven for people. I want people to feel like when they come here to this channel, however, small or big it becomes, or, how small it stays, I want people to feel like when they come here that they genuinely that they genuinely feel welcome, and they feel like any problems that they have that they can kind of open up about. Now that doesn't mean, share everything that's going on in your personal life, but, just kind of open up a little bit about things that you're comfortable with. And I think that's kind of the good and bad part of the internet now, is because people are so anonymous, they feel like they can't really open up about a lot of those feelings or those things that bother them. They feel like people are going to constantly judge. And that, to me, that's kind of wrong, because you can't find support if people are always going to constantly attack you, or you're going to feel like you're going to be attacked. And I've always lived by the mantra the last few years that I should not live my life in fear, because of the fact that people are going to poke fun at, the things that I am insecure about. I am the way that I am for a reason, and the things that I've been through, people are never going to fully understand. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it because, not everybody's going to appreciate the journey that I've been on. So that's... And I'm sure a lot of people afterwards are going to critique me and just say, oh, well, you shouldn't be putting yourself out there like that on the internet if you're, because people are going to find a way to turn that against you. Well, it's no different from if somebody butted in on your conversation and said their 2 cents. Just to be edgy or shocking. It's just the way of the world now. I choose to take it and or leave it. But that's just me. That's just how I view things. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are also kind of tired of hearing me, ramble on about the things that go on inside of my head, but at the same time, I always try to be a very transparent person, because I want to be able to show within reason the guy behind the camera. It's not all a dog. It's not all like a pony and dog show, so to speak, with me. I'm very much fallible like any other human being walking this planet. I have my issues, I have my ups, and I have my downs. If most of you guys are here for the gameplay, good. If most of you guys like the gameplay, but you also feel like some of the things that I say are relatable, that's good too. I try to cover as many bases as I can. But I feel at the end of the day that I want to feel like I have an overall goal of wanting to be able to produce something on this channel that everybody can just kind of look at and be like, it's like he is saying things that I can relate to. He is saying things that go on inside my own head. And I just got a delayed message. Sorry about that, guys. I just got a delayed message on my messenger. Oh, Cruise Rabbit, thank you so much for the follow, man. I'm really sorry about that, man. It says like 2 minutes ago, but the message just now popped up on my messenger. That's weird. That's weird that it just popped up on my PlayStation thing. Like, it's such a delayed reaction, too. But thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the follow. I kind of feel bad now because, like, I didn't realize that that was a delayed message. It just, like, popped up for me. Oh well, things happen. The important thing is that at least I saw it now, and I acknowledge that you at least, you know, gave me the follow. I'm trying to be upbeat and positive because I feel like I'm just using depressing things, and I don't want you guys to feel depressed, and I don't want people to feel triggered, so to speak. I want this to be a happy place, but I also want it to be a real place where people can come and talk about a few things that are bothering them, or what are bothering them, what are stressing them out. And I want to build a good community. I want a community where people kind of feel loved and accepted. Now, having said that though, I do kind of, while I am accepting people, I also kind of very bluntly believe that, you know, half of the time, you know, people should be able to work through their problems. But I'm not gonna open up that can of worms because I don't want it to seem like I'm being a jerk. I think I've already expressed enough remorse for that from my actions yesterday as I was walking I try. That's the bottom line of it. I try, and sometimes I try too hard, and sometimes I put too much pressure on myself to want to say the right things and wanting to do the right thing. Basically, in other words, I suffer from what most people would call, you know, hero syndrome. I always feel like I have to be Superman as opposed to just being myself. And I've had numerous people point out to me that I need to stop kind of carrying that weight of mentality to myself. That it doesn't endear people to me, it just makes people frustrated with me. Why I'm glad for the friends that I have. Why I'm glad for the friends and family that I do that are encouraging of me, but also let me know that the things that I do are not always acceptable. That I need to work through my problems, but in a healthy manner. And I encourage that to everybody else as well. Like, you know, find and seek help if you need it, or find people that you trust that you know are going to have your best interest at heart. That they are not trying to tell you who you should be, but that they also, even if you get upset or angry with them, that they just tell you the truth. That they, you know, say, it's like, you know, hey, it's like, I love you, but these are things that you've got to change. And that's, I think, the problem with most of the world is
I'm overburdened.
We've all kind of become, I think, a little bit too overly sensitive towards people's intentions. You know, we expect we expect the worst of everybody before we expect the best. And that's something that I think kind of needs to change. And I'm not being gung-ho about it, I'm just saying we need to learn as a world and as a community to really kind of take a step back and kind of re-examine the world in general. You know, we need to kind of look at, you know, the things that we say and the things that we do, and, you know, how it possibly affects others. And I'm not just saying that for you guys, but I'm saying that for myself as well. I'm not going to do the whole, like, you know, preach at you guys and then not take my own advice. You know, I want to try to stand by what I'm saying. That's what's important to me, is I need to acknowledge that, you know, I keep being selfish and try to be considerate of others' feelings. And it's not that I'm not, but I don't do it enough. And that's where a lot of my problems personally or socially lie, is in the fact that I don't always show consideration when I probably should. And some people, I'm sure, are, like I said, they're going to years from now pull this up and throw it back in my face and say, well, you said this thing, and, you know, whatever. People are always going to try and invalidate you for the fact that you're being more open and honest and admitting your flaws and mistakes than they probably are. And it's not an ego thing, it's just the fact that I'm comfortable with admitting as a man that I'm not. I don't always make the right choices. I live with that, and I'm happy to live with it. Because that shows maturity and growth, in my opinion, when you can simply step back and say, hey, I'm upset about this, but at the same time, I am human.
This will be a challenge.
I'm sure a lot of you are tired of me, like, you know, going in depth on all this stuff and, you know, just regurgitating the same stuff. So, and I feel like that's what I'm doing. But all I'm saying in this stream is just to encourage you guys that if you have a lot of things going on and you're frustrated, just understand that you're not the only one that is, you know, kind of getting stuck in their own head or dealing with a lot of issues. But there are like-minded people that deal with the same things that you do, and you've got to go with what makes you feel better and what's going to make you happy, but within reason. For some people, you know, it's asking the advice of friends. For some, it's turning to family, and for others, you know, it's the case of maybe they need to, you know, go see a therapist, you know, do group therapy sessions, you know, find a sponsor, you know, like I know, but it's finding something positive and clinging to it, but not clinging to it like it's your last hope. I know that's a contradictory message, but I'm just saying, don't become so attached to necessarily needing help 24/7 that, you know, it kind of becomes a thing of, well, you know, we're just walking around in circles, you know, like, so what are you trying to do here? I don't know. I don't have the perfect answer for that, unfortunately. And like I said, the more I'm going into this, the more I feel like I'm just kind of regurgitating the same stuff. And if anything, it sounds like I'm being preachy, and that's not what I'm wanting to do, you know, on this channel at all. And I also kind of went on an aside that I probably shouldn't have. So if most of y'all are listening to me and, you know, you're kind of like, you know, it's like, you know, you're kind of crossing a bit of a boundary there, Steve. It's like, you know, it's like, you know, I'm sorry, guys. I get stuck in my own head, and I just say what I don't say it with maliciousness. I say it because I do genuinely care. But sometimes I don't think I know how to turn my mouth off in certain moments. Even with the best of intentions. But as best as I can, let me try to segue into focusing on the game. Ooh. Go to the portal to the killing grounds. What do we got? Aha! The okay. I like the cursed shrines, like portal missions here, because they're actually not that difficult. Neither, neither obviously is the shaman one, but I'm just saying, it's easier to do this side quest. Because the worst that's going to happen here. Ah, there we go. Okay. Roll over here. Where's the remaining enemies? Oh, they're all the way over there. These the last ones. Yep, those are the last ones. Okay. I always worry about stragglers when I do some of these like portal side quest bounties.
I need to go back.
Okay. What do we got? There is such a thing as Uber bosses?
Decay and rot.
Realm of the Cursed Fate. I'm not gonna lie, I don't much care for the lighting in a lot of these, like, you know, cursed or unbound realms. I definitely, the one thing I will compliment with this level with this set of levels is definitely the fact that, you know, it kind of winds and twists in a teleportational kind of way to all the different locations and sections. But the lighting effect here just kind of bugs me. Even when I'm doing, even after, like, you know, you do the mouth IO stuff, like, you know, you finally become one with the souls of the trap. I don't know, that lighting effect, and it's not even the brightness on my TV, but it's just, in general, that filter just does not work for me. But that's just a personal nitpick. Okay, we're getting closer to him. What is this? Ugh! What is that? Hang on, I gotta get closer to my TV. What is that? Dude! Am I wearing one of those little, like, porcupine spider creatures on my head? It's almost like the head crabs from Half-Life. That is so freaky. Ugh, I don't like that. Get it off. Okay, so it's supposed to be a nod to the head crabs from Half-Life. Wear this and you'll be mistaken for a mindless zombie. Amuse your friends and fool your enemies. Okay, that's clever. That is clever, Blizzard. Blizzard is throwing shade at Half-Life. That's hilarious. I'm just sitting there, I'm like looking at that, I'm like, is that supposed to be like a head crab?
I'm returning to town.
Blizzard throwing shade, okay. I have to laugh at that, they're throwing shade at Half-Life. I can imagine all you Half-Life fans are not happy right now seeing that. Okay, so one more for the high heavens. Ugh. I'm not gonna lie, I needed that amusement after spending pretty much most, if not the majority of the stream so far, just yammering on and on. It's good to have a little bit of amusement to try to break up the monotony. Excuse me, who is doing the wails of the damned and yodeling at the same time? I don't like that moaning. You keep that to yourself. To quote the words of the late great, Michael Clark Duncan, do not put that evil on me. I feel like I'm making progress. I'm hoping I'm making progress. Oh, of course it had to be a kill 100 enemies. Like, out of all the cursed chest things, this is probably my least favorite. Just because I always either don't kill 100 enemies on time, or I go overboard. Like, I think the highest kill count I've ever got doing one of these is like 171. But hey, high multiplier, so I'm not complaining. Oh, looks like I beat my record. 175. Okay, let's go back here, talk to Tyrael, and get our chest.
Your deeds should. There are more bounties.
Yes, I know. There are more bounties in Chaldeum. There are more bounties everywhere.
My bag is full.
What do we got here? Maximum essence. What does this carry? Okay, I'll take this for now. Maximum essence. Okay, yeah. That works better stat-wise. Trying to make sure as I'm procuring weapons here that I'm, you know, statting my character up for damage and whatnot properly. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay, give you that. Give you that. Okay. Try and.
If this.
See, what do you got? Okay, you are good.
Take what you can. Never apologize.
Oh, hey, Driggs, all the way over here. I'm trying. I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking of that Markiplier skit. It's like, where's the blacksmith? Oh, he's right there. Jeez. I was gonna say, am I gonna teleport in anytime soon? Silly noobs, your superpowers cannot harm me. Who needs a wall? I am the wall. Actually, that trash talking line probably would have been better if I was playing as the barbarian. I am the wall. Oh. Oh, I'm looking for the flooded cave. Okay, probably back that way. Wait here while my skeletons kill all these guys.
Death nears.
I know a lot of people have talked about how the necromancer, to a lot of people the necromancer, from what I've at least heard, and it makes a lot of sense, I don't deny it, lot of people talk about how the necromancer is just kind of ineffective in the fact that... Where are you running off to? Get back here.
That needs to recharge.
Okay, so where were we? There we go. Good grief. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people, and I understand a lot of the criticism for the necromancer. You know, a lot of people have said, you know, it's like, oh, you know, the necromancer's not a bad class, but it's all about the gamble of trying to extend a fight with it that makes it tough for a lot of people to want to play it. And I mean, I don't deny that. Like, if you want to play the necromancer, it's just understand that a lot of times when you do fights, you will have to try to balance everything exactly out, because the necromancer is very much you have to extend the fight as long as you can kind of class. Like, that's kind of the way Blizzard kind of built this class, was they built it to be very similar to the Witch Doctor, but also extremely different. And that's not me trying to sound intelligent, that's just me looking at it from my filter and lens from a very casual perspective. I'm not gonna claim that I'm a master D3 player, because I'm not. I'm extremely casual, but from my filter and lens, I just look at the necromancer as being very similar but built differently from the Witch Doctor as far as abilities and... Okay, oh, it's all the way down here. In its abilities, but also in the fact that you really have to take a gamble and a chance with a lot of the abilities that are available with the necromancer, and also, you know, especially as you level up, you know, really picking and choosing, okay, you know, like what stats and what things you really kind of want to put into this character. And I will need to actually put this in my chest, because I do not want to lose that. Because that is the dagger of the butcher, and that's going to go cool as a set with the sickle. That's why most people ask me, they're like, oh, you like the Witch Doctor because, you know, you get, like, you know, a whole bunch of, like, you know, pets or minions to summon. I'm like, yeah. It's part of the reason I like the Necromancer, and it's part of the reason I like the Witch Doctor. Because I'm one of those players that I like having companions or summonable minions. Like, it makes the game a little bit more fun. At least for me. And a lot of people are like, well, why do you like the wizard? It's like, well, is that why you like the wizard and, you know, the monk and, you know, crusader and stuff too? Honestly, I kind of wish that there was a thing with the crusader where you could have permanent, like, companions follow you around, but I also understand why they didn't do that. But there is a part of me that kind of wished that that had become a thing. But it is a leveling thing. I mean, it's... You know, as was pointed out to me... I think it was Ace Panda... Or no, maybe it was Ace Bear. I forget the name of the Twitch streamer that I follow. I love what somebody said. They're like, level 10 doesn't really give you an idea of how each class truly works. You kind of have to level them up, level one of them up, and then figure out from there which one is worth playing more. And I didn't really think about, and I genuinely didn't think about it like that, but it is true. To get the best idea for which class you truly like, you kind of have to level them up a little bit more. But at the same time, it's more, okay, how does this class work? What is its functionality?
Returning to town.
So that makes a lot of sense to me. What do we got here? Oh yeah. We'll go over to the stash here. Put this in here. Anything else that I need to put in here? Okay, good. Let's grind all this down. I have so much money and like so many resources that it's ridiculous now. Oh, I gotta kill enemies over this way. Oh, we're going towards, like, Magna's land. Okay. I was confused there for a second. I probably should have read the map before I chose to do this bounty. Sometimes I just look, I'm like, okay, I'll do this bounty. Don't even think twice about it. Just go and do it. There we go. It's one thing I don't like about Power Shift is sometimes with Power Shift it goes through the barricades or objects that should be destroyed as opposed to, you know, actually cutting through them. Oh, that wasn't it. Killed that. I'm just kind of standing back here because I don't... Actually, let me attack a little bit. There we go. Just whittle down the health. Because that's kind of the best and worst thing about Skeleton Crew is you really have to be careful. Because if you kill elite enemies, then basically you're taking that kill away from them. And trust me, trying to get 500 skeleton kills. Speaking of which, let me actually kill these enemies. There we go. Okay, so let's return to town, and I need to do a progress update here. Okay, go to classes. How many am I at? Oh, I am so very close. 427. I might actually get this done before this stream ends. That makes me an extremely happy panda. 258 out of 500 bounties. Okay, I am making killer progress on all of these. Okay, the Realm of Shadows. Okay, good. I still got enough inventory space.
That needs to recharge.
Consumes you.
All must serve the cycle.
Well, that went by pretty quick. Making pretty good progress. I cannot deny that. I am making tremendously good progress. I'll be even happier once I'm done with...
That needs to recharge.
I'll be happier once I'm completely done with Skeleton Crew.
Well.
Okay, 65. Ooh, wrong one. Okay, nothing of note.
New goods today. Please look. You won't be disappointed.
I've been here alone for a while now. Mind if I join you?
Vicious hounds roam the northern moors in Kyrgyzstan, feeding on carrion and unwary travelers. They roam in packs and will take on anything that crosses their path. It is said that their hunger is so great that they do not even leave the bones of their prey behind.
That is... I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of scary.
Everything has changed. First, Belial was thwarted in Chaldeum.
Mischievous beasts have been sent. These hunters are curious creatures. Bloodthirsty.
Are we
and
hearing
violent
nothing
to
but like
others.
Tyrael
They employ a
doing
surprising
journal
degree
entries on each of
care
these
in
creatures?
raising their young. Every
I'll have to
egg
listen to those later when I get the chance.
and the
on this
hunters will
game.
frequently circle overhead to keep watch on their nests. Those who intrude upon them are most unwise.
out of here.
Get them away from the offering! Do not fear the end.
I hope you haven't brought bad fortune on yourself, destroying things like that. I've seen these cultists around. I think they
Grave beckons.
Okay, moving on. Okay, we are vehemently making progress. Any progress is good progress. We gotta try to be positive. We gotta try to have a good PMA, a good positive mental attitude.
All must serve the cycle.
Of enemies by now, huh? Maybe even more than me.
I'm not gonna lie, dude, you're kind of creepy and very suspect. Where is it? There we go. And did I equip any of the wrong stuff? Hope I didn't. What is this? Oh, that's for... Ooh, I can give that to Cormac. Okay, good. I thought I had equipped something that I wasn't supposed to by accident. Okay. We are... Well, let's give this to Cormac first, because you never know. Where is... Oh, never mind. Oh, that doesn't have proper statting. Never mind. False alarm. Okay. Good. Got clear inventory space now. Okay. And last bounty... Ah. Temple of the Firstborn. Enter the Temple of the Firstborn, level 2. Enter the Sanctum of Blood. Kill. Oh!
I have heard troubling news. Another cult has emerged from the shadows, and its members gather to the north. They conduct their rituals under the veil of the shrouded moors, where few will think to look for them. One can only guess what dark rituals they will pursue in the forgotten corners of the world.
The grave beckons.
There is no end to the number of rituals these cultists will use to twist mortal flesh. Some call the process ascension, a lie that no doubt buys them obedience. But mark my words, these abominations have not ascended. They live only to suffer and hate until they meet their final death.
Okay, it's not even gonna tell me where level 2 is. Ugh. Okay, this way? Okay, looks like it's this way. This does not sit well with me. At all. This is the opposite of what I want to see.
This world can abide you no longer.
I will second that statement.
You will make a fine corpse. An interesting opponent.
My character... Ew.
Decay and rot.
Okay, have I not found this yet? Like, where is level 2? That, I swear, it reminds me of the chest burster from Alien, and it's a tad bit uncomfortable. Like, whatever experiments these guys were doing, it's utterly insane.
The rumors have traveled far, even to my lands. Humanity is regaining its power, and the Nephilim are reborn. People say they have defeated Diablo and Malthael, and secured peace on Sanctuary. My brothers and sisters did not believe it. No mortal could do so much. But I would know more.
So I've virtually been just about everywhere.
Give it more time.
Weakness consumes you.
Is there ever going to be an end to this? I mean, I'm not complaining, but at the same time, I'm just like, how many of these dudes am I going to run through before they finally get to where I need to go? Okay, good. Now I'm at level 2. Funny thing is, I don't even need to necessarily attack these guys. I pretty much can just have my skeletons run through them, which is what I find the most hilarious about this. Like, I'm not even doing anything. Like, they're running
can
through.
abide you no longer.
That's, like, funny and hilarious. I miss playing Diablo 3. You know that... I don't know. I mean, every once in a while, I kind of start to miss playing the game, and then I decide to re-download it from my library. And every time, usually if I get rid of it, it's just because I'm like burnt out on RPGs. So I kind of move on to like a different style of games, and then once I get burnt out from that, I kind of come back full circle to playing Diablo and whatnot.
There you are. Don't tell me that you never suspected I was more than what I seemed. It was the only way that I could get close to you. Now, we're about to get much closer.
Really, dude? You think I'm scared of you? Big bad demon lord? I've killed Diablo, I've killed Belial, I've killed dozens of...
me strength. Soon, yours will as well.
Are you done? Nope, he's still not done. He's gonna learn. Ooh, he learned today. He learned I was not somebody to be messed with. I mean, it's always good. It's always good to fire the game up every once in a while and just kind of
I'm returning to town.
just kind of kick back and kind of play it for a little bit. Like I said earlier in the stream, this is kind of my go-to stress reliever game.
My bag is full.
New goods today.
Your bag is
Please
always
look.
full when it
You
comes to
won't
blood shards.
be disappointed.
What do we got here? Run through each of these. Ah. Okay.
My bag is full.
So let's check my progress. How many bounties do I got? 261. Still not enough. But at least I'm a little bit closer. Which do we got? 437. I am so ridiculously close that it's actually laughable. And I'm just going to go ahead and add the golem back in on this necromancer. Because I have a feeling by the time I get around to it, let's do a little bit of maneuvering here. Okay, siphon blood, yep. Skeletal mage, yep. Revive, yep. Frenzy. We're gonna go with dark mending, because that may come in handy. Okay. Golem, skeletal mages, skeletal mages, command skeletons, golem, revive, blood rush. You know, a lot of people have complained about that too, saying that, you know, the Necro should have been like a free download for a lot of people. And genuinely, I I can't comment on that necessarily because, like I said, I'm a
carrying
casual
too much.
D3 player, but from hearing a lot of people's, they're considering Diablo 4, but they're saying right now they still have possibly a few more things to do here in D3, possibly, like as far as seasons and whatnot.
I can't carry any more.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have never played Diablo 1, never played Diablo 2. This is actually my introduction. This game was actually the introduction into the world of Diablo for me. But I also can understand why a lot of people love to hate this game. Okay, so I got my male necromancer, and now let's move on to my female. We'll move on to my female necromancer. Well, Blizzard has said that they're gonna do D4. They just don't want to rush doing it, which I think is a good thing. I like the fact that I've mainly just like I've at least like watched, you know, playthroughs of Diablo 1 and 2, and I don't think I would have liked D1 to a certain extent. D2 I probably would have been able to play, but I like playing D3 a little bit more because, as somebody pointed out, and it's the honest truth, D3 just feels a little more like user-friendly for like new players or players that maybe didn't have a PC or a good PC to be able to play the other two. And they give enough and I like the fact that in this game they give enough information to where even if you've never played the previous two games or know nothing about the lore, they drop a lot of hints that kind of allow you to connect the dots or like want to do your own research. And I always like when games encourage that, because it really does truly help as far as helping understand certain bits of the lore better. I mean, exactly, a lot of people are like, well, how can you like D3 if you've never played the other ones? And I always make that argument with games. Like, oh, you didn't play the previous installments, so you're not really a fan. Just because you don't play a game doesn't mean that you can't study the lore and appreciate the craft that went into it. That would be like going to a butcher and telling them that you don't like the way that they make a sandwich because they don't understand the history of the hammer bologna that they cut. I know that's not a good analogy, but I'm just saying it's a redundant argument that kind of is silly. I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people that I always heard people mention Diablo and I kind of rolled my eyes, much like I did with Fallout. This and Fallout were the two games that I was like, oh, you know, they look very cookie cutter. And I didn't want to actually play Fallout 3 because I felt like I would become too paranoid about post-apocalyptic war, which is like the stupidest reason to not want to play a game, but I was in my teens and I was in a phase where I became extremely paranoid that the rapture was going to come, or that the world was going to end, like, suddenly. Like, it was going to be like the second Cold War, like, coming. Like, it's laughable now. I can laugh at it now because it's like the stupidest and most silliest reason to not want to play a video game. But I kind of slept on Fallout and Diablo as far as, you know, oh, well, these games just don't look appealing to me. They look, you know, they look silly, or they look like they're trying to be too edgy. And then, hey, the rapture will happen at some point. But I'm just saying it was like the silliest thing to think of as far as not wanting to be able to play a game. But no, I mean, I think once I got to a point where I'm like, I don't necessarily need to play a game to appreciate the lore or ideas behind it. That's when I kind of started, as I played through this, I was like, okay, you know, the game, I think once you study the lore or the history of a game, especially a game that has like a franchise power to it, like Diablo or like Fallout, where there's a lot of history that you maybe won't
Give
catch.
it more time.
That you maybe won't catch, you then kind of start to look at the game a little bit differently, and you're like, okay, even if I don't necessarily like playing the game, I can appreciate the, like, you know, the backstory and history of what was, you know, put into the game's world and the different aspects of it that kind of make it unique or stand out. In Diablo's case, it's very dark, it's very gothic, it's not necessarily a very happy game world to be in, because humanity is always being attacked by demons, and the demon lords are always trying to one-up heaven, and the fact that, you know, the high heavens in this universe are not necessarily squeaky clean either. They have a bit of a mean streak and a dark side to them. That I found interesting. You know, the plausibility that, you know, the angels are not necessarily the good guys, and that most of them kind of had to pick a side. But what I mainly love about Diablo is kind of, you know, the lore that humanity are Nephilim, that they are the best and worst of both angels and demons. And that Sanctuary was basically just, hey, let's let them kind of be themselves and make their own choice.
This will be a challenge.
So I just like different twists on different, I guess, different kinds of mythology, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm not trying to be philosophical with it. I'm just saying that it kind of intrigues me. Hey, that's cool, man. Have fun playing, you know, have fun having your own gaming session with the game, and, you know, I appreciate you stopping in, man. I always appreciate when anybody stops in during my streams. And I always try to make sure I don't get so engrossed in the game that I don't stop to, like, read the comments or answer people's questions. Of course, you too, man. Have fun. Okay. Making progress. Are we...
We couldn't hold on. There were just too many of them.
Uh-oh, where am I going? Oh, there... I was trying to find the marker. Oh, wait, it's up here. made it.
I'm unable to get it open.
There we go. Ooh, I killed 105 enemies before I... What the... Okay, I see you guys down there. I am coming for y'all. Watch me get over here and then they disappear. You aren't getting away that easily. What is this? Ooh, which do I want more? Do I want the angry evil bell or do I want the crucifix? Bone Ringer. What is this? Damage bonus of command skeletons. Increased by 28 per second. They spend attacking the same target. You know what? I'm gonna put this in my chest and I'm gonna put that for my other necromancer. I'm going to put that in for my male necromancer, and then I'm going to keep this one because I like that. For whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. Got a little ding-donger. Okay. Awesome. Catapult command. Okay. I'll go through with this. Why not? Okay, 46. Hang on a second, guys. I think I hear somebody knocking at my door. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
I am so sorry about that, guys. I did not mean to be gone for so long. I did not mean to be gone for so long, guys. I actually ended up catching my neighbor as she was letting her dog out, and I apologized to her, and she told me not to worry about it. She said that her sister actually didn't really care, but it didn't phase her. She said her sister actually took some at herself as well. That makes me feel a lot better, but at the same time, I still kind of feel bad about it. Like I said, I'm not a bad person. I just get stuff in my own head. But anyway, guys, like I said, I'm sorry that I was gone for so long, but I felt like I needed to clear the air because I'm that kind of person. Like I don't want to feel terrible for not being able to do the right thing. I was raised old school. I was raised that when you wrong people, you should at least try to apologize, even if they don't accept it. And I don't say that to make myself seem better. I mean, just clarification. Anyway. Well, I feel bad. I do feel a little bit bad that you guys were sitting there for minutes. I'm sure a lot of y'all came in and were just like, where? It's like, man, Steve is taking a while. Unfortunately, guys, like I said, I had with my neighbor, and I took a little longer than I thought. Also, I had to keep chasing her cat because the cat kept coming into my apartment, trying to hide. She's a little mischievous kitten. And plus, guys, I'm kind of starting to get hungry. So what I may do is after I get done with this bounty, I'll probably stop the stream, and then we shall resume probably at another point. I feel really good. I feel like I've righted a lot of wrongs. You know, I woke up with this day honestly thinking that everything was going to get worse. And now it's kind of come full circle that everything's kind of worked out for me. And not in an arrogant way, but in a positive way. Things turned around for the better.
That needs to recharge.
But let's finish up this
abide you no longer. I need to go back.
Well, you know what? Okay, I might actually do 1 or 2 more bounties. Let's see what we got going on here. That's Gorm. Clear the icy pit. Eternal Woods.
This creature will die.
There is a bunch of elite enemies. I think I just hit the jackpot. First, let me knock a few of these lesser enemies out of the way so that way I don't have my skeletons attack them. Ooh.
Make a fine corpse. overburdened. I can't carry any more. I am returning to town.
Okay, so the last one is facing Gorm, but I'm going to leave that one. What's the other one here? Battlefield of Eternity. Okay, let's do this one. Oh, wrong way.
That foe will die.
There's no doubt that that foe will die. Where am I heading? Oh, I gotta get the Realm Walker. There's that. Okay, so I gotta find a Realm Walker and go into the Realm of the Damned. Okay then. Primordial enemies for me to have to rescue, but they'll all contribute towards giving me a better Paragon weapon.
Make a fine corpse.
Nephilim, over here. We found ancient camps.
They will help the angels with the siege weapons.
I'm under attack! Help me! It may drive off the rest of them. This will help keep the Angel of Death's minions occupied. You are a noble warrior. We are proud to fight by your side.
back.
Oh, 463. How many bounties have I done?
Tyrael, it's been interesting for me to see all of these places where you and the Nephilim journeyed. I've heard so much about your adventures with Leah and Cain. I almost feel like I was there.
They were trying times.
I'm unable to get it open. It is good to see you, Master Metan. What have you found?
Death's minions threaten to overwhelm the living, so they must be culled. This beacon will draw many of Death's soldiers here, to their demise. I was about to activate it.
I would be honored to help.
Good fighting by your side, but I have much work left to do. Perhaps we shall meet again someday.
Returning to town.
Begun searching the marsh for the ruins of Corvus. This stinking, festering swamp is punctuated by worn blocks of stone. Perhaps these ancient sentinels are all that remain of the proud Nephilim city. No, there is more to be found. I know. night, I found the ruined Nephilim city. When I stepped into the buried catacombs, I felt a stir in my blood. And then a wondrous thing, a dim light began to glow all around me, not cast by any torch. It was as though the very stones acknowledged mine.
Go back. This will be a challenge.
Hey, what's up, Hayden? No, unfortunately, you won't be able to play with me because I do not have PlayStation Plus. And actually, after I get these last few bosses killed off, I'm probably going to log off the stream pretty soon. And hopefully I'll achieve my goal soon, because I'm starving. I haven't ate any lunch yet, just so you guys know. So if I seem incoherent, it's because I probably haven't eaten like I should.
Why is there a castle here?
Begone! I am not yet ready to entertain guests.
But yeah, I don't have PlayStation Plus, Caden, so even if I might have wanted you to join, the game wouldn't let me because obviously I don't have the requirements.
It's almost finished!
Somewhere down the road, possibly I might get PlayStation Plus, because I'm sure a few people would want to play Diablo or a few other multiplayer games with me.
Dog. I will build my castle here, and it will be the grandest castle ever. Do you hear me, Saul? Ever!
Dude, shut up. Trying to talk here. Yeah, I don't have PlayStation Plus, so if a lot of you guys wanted to join me, I would have to get PlayStation Plus.
Decay and rot.
I mean, it would be great because then I can double leveling up on a lot of my characters, but you gotta make do with what you got. I just hope I reach this 500 soon. Like, I'm so close that I'm like, you know, I'll go for it. I probably shouldn't, but I'll go for it anyway. Just because, since I'm so close. I'm just hoping I hit my goal. Because I kind of want to be done with this trophy. Like, if you think that doing 500 bounties is tedious, try killing elite enemies using only your skeletons. Like, you literally will have to sit there and, like I'm doing, just let them do all the work so that way you don't accidentally kill an elite enemy, so that way it's one less that you have to let them kill. Kind of annoying, but I'm hoping once I have this done, I won't ever have to deal with it again. And what's really good is if you create 2 necromancers, they do carry over, which I like. So you can pull double duty with both necromancers as you're leveling them up. So I am at least glad that it's not an individual thing, that it's like account-wide. Because that could always be the worst case scenario. Please tell me I am getting closer. I mean, I gotta be close at this point. Actually, let me see how close I am to this. $481. I am so very close now to getting this. It'll be one less trophy for me to have to deal with. seems like the game knows that I am just ready to be done, not only with this stream, but be done with the Skeleton Crew trophy, that I just finally want to get it out of the way, because now they're throwing elite enemies at me. And I'm not complaining about that. I like it. Because that really does help me.
I am returning to town.
And I mean, we're building Paragon. And I mean, we're building Paragon too, so it's a win-win situation. We're clearing bounties, we're clearing Paragon, and we are knocking out trophies. And probably just for giggles, I'm going to take care of Urzdale, and that will be the final set of bounties that I get done. Going. Good. 67. Raising that Paragon level to high degrees.
Like, these are the missions that always, to me, take forever. But you know what? I can't complain because, I mean, at least I'm knocking stuff out.
My master. Soon demon spawn like you will be gone forever.
Or you will be. Have you considered that?
The demon spawn.
Okay, 489. I'm actually going to do it towards the end of the stream here.
The world you have finished.
Okay, you know what? I will finish Gorm just because I need to get one more bounty, and this will probably lead to me getting a couple of different elite enemies, and this will work out perfectly.
Trapped some huge demons in the next room. I've been praying the doors will hold. They need to be killed. They're too much for me.
There we go.
around, we might just beat these demons after all.
Prisoners are panicking now. Oh, they must have noticed that fresh meat only comes after one of their number is dragged away, screaming. This will...
Watch me be like one number away. Oh no, a couple. Okay.
Well, new trick.
Okay, so 2 Herodric chests. And 2 down. What's New Tristram hold? Fields of Misery. This one might actually be beneficial. Only a couple left, and once I'm done with this, and I'm done with the... I think once I'm done with this, and I'm done with not only this bounty, but just done with elite enemies in general, I can be able to finally clear all of the... whatchamacallit there. I don't know how to word it, but you guys know what I'm probably talking about. Like, be able to clear all these trophies out. It'll be one less trophy to have to deal with, and all I really got to worry about is the bounties, and that'll just come naturally. It's my goal. Well,
after much searching, I have found a promising lead. A family near New Tristram has obtained a valuable relic, and poor fools that they are, they haven't the slightest idea what to do with it. I have some idea of what to do with their daughter, though. And through her, I'll get my prize.
Clear this bounty, see if I can find any more elite enemies, and then I should be able to be done with this. With not only skeleton crew, but I should be ever closer to at least kind of getting 300 bounties. So Oops, gotta take the long way around. Gotta speed up the process here.
That needs to recharge.
Of course the game's not gonna let me teleport through there. The game's gonna make me walk all the way around.
I am undone. Demon spawn have taken root in my fields.
Then you must go.
This land is all my family has. I cannot leave.
Ooh.
My land is saved. Bless you.
Okay. How far off am I now? Oh, 2 more. You know what? I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna see if I can find 2 more. Hey, and just my luck. And there we go. Skeleton crew. And now Master Necromancer. So now let's take this out and put the golem back in here. Powers assigned via... Oh. Okay, so let's see. Blood Siphon, Skeletal Mage, Revive. Command Skeletons, which I'm going to make Dark Mending. Okay, so Command Skeletons, Bone Golem. Okay, good. Oh, wrong button.
I can't carry any more.
Ooh, 58. Okay, I can't use either one of those parts, and... Oh, this goes to the inventory. Ooh. Ooh. Nope. Interesting.
I need to go back.
Let's see what we got. Okay, I'm definitely throwing this in here because that is a rare helm and I do not want to lose that. Or this. I'll probably end up having to clear the chest out later.
I've got some brand new goods you might be in.
Good, awesome. Cleave prize.
Interested in.
Okay, so that's one. Any other rings? Nope. Nope. Yes.
Will we fight today?
We will stand together against the shadows.
Lead the way to glory.
Okay, cool. So I completed all of the Necromancer challenges. I got Skeleton Crew finally. So now all that is left is battling 500, which is complete 500 bounties. And 272 is my count. So I am a little over halfway there. And now both Necromancers have been leveled up. I got 2 level 70 Witch Doctors. And now I'm pretty much open to level up all my other classes. Since that was the only Necromancer-based trophy that I needed left to pretty much move forward. But anyway, guys, it is 3 hours and almost 20 minutes. It is now 2:16 Eastern Standard Time. And I am hungry, so I'll probably grab myself a small snack since I missed lunch. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this stream. I had fun, and I definitely might do a third chill stream, possibly. Possibly. But until then, guys, I hope y'all have a good one. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one.